Welcome back to the Loose Professional channel on YouTube, and welcome to the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. So today, we're going to be walking around checking out the city. We're in the French Quarter right now. This is Jackson Square. You can see behind me, General Jackson sitting up on his horse there. And one of the most famous landmarks in the entire city is that cathedral right behind me as well. So we'll get some pictures around here and check this place out. This is a really cool spot. And then we're going to walk around. We're going to check out all of the French Quarter. And then we're going to head over to the Garden District because there's some beautiful stuff over there to photograph. So, and we might maybe find some ghosts. I don't know. Let's see what we can find. We're doing a voodoo vampire tour tonight, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so I wanted to take a minute just to highlight this area that we're in right now. So this is artists all around Jackson Square. There's artists that will sell their paintings, and the cool part about down here is that you have to get the permit to actually sell your paintings here. They have to be made by you. So a lot of artists down here that are out here selling their stuff. There's some really cool stuff going down. We've been walking around looking at some of them. Got some pictures inside Jackson Square, and then came outside to walk around and look at these things here and see what else we could find. Alright, so we've been trying to find the trolley to make sure this is, because half the time the focus isn't working on this thing. So we've been trying to find the trolley and we just had an awesome experience with, they've got these tourist centers every once in a while, so we stopped in the tourist center and explained our issue. And the lady not only helped us find the trolley, or streetcar, I'm sorry, I keep calling it a trolley, it's a streetcar. But anyway, then we told her about the problem with the app, because you can buy these day passes for the streetcar that lets you ride the streetcar, the ferry, and I think they've got a bus system or something like that. But anyway, we had a problem with it when we were trying to buy the day pass this morning in the app, and it kept crashing. And she actually helped us get it working so that we could actually get the day passes. So we now have the day passes. We are heading up to Canal Street so that we can go to the actual streetcar and then ride it down in the Garden District, because there's a lot to check out here. And then later we're going to be getting on the ferry, I think, so that's going to be kind of cool, so stay tuned for that. But I'll check back in when we find the streetcar. To have a little bit of footage from the streetcars. Huh? That's us on the streetcars. There's no way you're gonna be able to hear our voices over this though. And it's packed. Alright, I think it's focused on me. That was a fun ride. So that was our first adventure on the streetcars today. We got the day pass. So New Orleans, I gotta say, the streetcars are really cool. It was a little bit crowded, but that's to be expected. But I will say, they did not tell us ahead of time that we would need a mask on the streetcar. So we weren't expecting to need one, so we didn't have them because everybody's lifted restrictions for I mean, New Orleans had restrictions in the city like 2-3 weeks ago, and they lifted the restrictions. So I was kind of excited because I was like, okay, we don't need a mask anywhere down there now. Turns out, if you're riding on the streetcar, you still need a mask. So that's something to keep in mind if you travel down here. But it was definitely a cool experience. We got the day passes, which I love that. It's $3 per person for the day pass. And it lets you ride on the streetcars, the ferry, and the bus line, I think. But we're just using it for the streetcars, I think, and the ferry. We're actually walking to the Garden District now. We're at Jackson, so we just got to the Garden District, so we're gonna walk around, check this place out. It's supposed to be a really pretty place with a lot of like unique architecture and trees and flowers and all that kind of stuff, so I want to check it out. And then, yeah, so give us a minute to walk around and get acclimated. Straight up, compared to the French Quarter, I'm liking the Garden District. It's really nice, peaceful. There's not a ton of people. There's like people who come here for a little more solace and quiet, I think. But I love this wall here. It's got a picture. A lot of these are covered in like vines and like these cool little leaves and stuff. So I got a picture looking down the street of that, so I'll put that in here. We're trying to find out which street we're on. Looks like we're on Phillip. So we're on Phillip.
It's right here.
So we need to go that way. So we're trying to find, there's a cemetery in here. Lafayette Cemetery. Oh God, that's way too bright. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, I think that works. The Lafayette Cemetery is where we're headed. I have no clue. I don't even know if it's open. It's probably one of the above ground ones that is closed all the time, but you can still look inside them. So we're gonna go check that out. As well as just in general, this place is a really pretty place. So that wall there is pretty cool. It's taller and it's got that big fence there. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And while I was doing that, I was getting some B-roll. And I'd look over, my wife's like 30 feet ahead of me. She's like, I'm leaving you behind. Tired of you recording. While we're talking, or while we're walking, I'm gonna talk. I've been recording shorts while we've been down here and on the way down, and kind of being elusive a little bit. I haven't set out right where we are, but been taking some shorts, and I did a couple of shorts challenging World of Mr. Gray to a contest to basically see who could get their sidekick in the funniest place, because he has a little animal from the Muppets, and he's been doing some crazy stuff akin to kind of some of the stuff I've done with Fred. So I was like, well, let's see who can come up with the coolest thing. Apparently, I think I upset him because I said something about it and he thought I'd already taken a picture and was just like provoking him to take one. Not the case. I thought it would be fun as a way to kind of, you know, do a collab of sorts, but I don't think that's going to work out. Maybe by the time this video has come out, something different, something will have changed. You guys can let me know in the comments. But as of right now, and this is funny. Like you can tell it's a tourist place. All those people over there are in tourist groups, so they're getting some stuff, getting some information about the area and stuff. So kind of cool. Huh?
First.
Yeah, this should be first. But yeah, we're gonna walk and find this cemetery, and I'll check back in when we find it, or if I find something cool. There's a lot of cool stuff to photograph here, so we'll see. I'll check back with you. I will check back with you guys in a second. By the way, guys, as we're walking to this the cemetery, which I think we're almost there, I found some shots that I'll throw in before this. I think we'll see how it comes out in the end. But big shout out to my wife because she's carrying like everything right now. She's got her sweatshirt, but she has both of our bottles of water in her pockets.
Full of stuff.
She got a bag full of stuff over there. There's a lot that goes to it when you're filming a YouTube video, taking photos, and trying to keep organized. There's so much involved.
I should bring my bigger bag.
I think we're gonna need a bigger bag. Well, yeah, you were supposed to bring the tote bag to this professional channel YouTube
It didn't
one.
have a zipper.
Yeah, you don't need no zipper. I think we have the cemetery right over here.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't think we can get in there.
No, it's gated.
I am pretty sure that it's gated shut because they all seem to be for the above ground ones. I'm assuming, go right here. I'm assuming for like safety reasons. But there's a gate over here that you can actually look in. So I want to get some pictures and some B-roll because B-roll is king now. I have not been getting enough B-roll for my videos. This one's a real challenge for me because the last travel video was a lot of road, a lot of driving down the road for B-roll. This one's going to be different because we're not driving as much, especially for this video in particular. While I'm thinking about it, this is part 2. The third part is going to come out next week. That's going to be a swamp tour. So hopefully by the time you're seeing this one, I didn't have like an arm eaten off by an alligator or something. But that one will come out next week. It's actually live on Patreon right now if you're watching this live on YouTube. The next one's live on Patreon, so check that one out. And yeah, let's go check out the cemetery. Alright, so we found the cemetery, like I suspected. Gate's locked. There's no getting in there. But I wanted to take this moment to talk a little bit about these cemeteries because these are all over New Orleans, and there's a reason for that. So New Orleans as a city is below, or is at or below sea level in most places. And when the first settlers showed up here and they started kind of working on a city and whatnot, they went to create cemeteries to bury people, and they found that when they started digging down, they would get more, not even a couple of feet down, and they were digging right into ocean water. And that's because how low everything sits. So rather than trying to bury everybody below ground, what they did was they buried them in these above ground mausoleum-like things here. And they actually found out that during the summertime, when they buried somebody here, within a year after burying the person, they would become mummified and they would just dry out completely. So it kind of helped with, you know, they didn't decompose when they were buried in these. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit. I'm sure that there's like something there that I could, I'm missing maybe, but I wanted to point out there's a sign over here that says no pets, vehicles, bikes or skateboards in the cemetery. But then at the bottom down there it says no soliciting allowed in the cemetery. And I'm trying to figure out, like, one, of course it's locked, so you're not getting in there right now. But two, no soliciting allowed in the cemetery. Who are you selling to? That's what I want to know. Are you selling to the dead people in there? And come to think of it, if you've seen, I think I'm going to make a short right here because this is kind of a good spot, and I'll probably mention that in the short. So if you've seen the short already, you've heard this probably. But yeah, that's, I love that. That's amazing. So we're going to walk, I think we'll walk around. I'm going to get a few pictures here. I'm going to do short. We're going to walk around. And yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so we're still walking in the garden district, checking stuff out. I've taken some cool pictures, there's been some neat flowers and stuff. But I will say that so far, and I don't know if it's the year or if it's just, you know, everybody talking it up to, maybe the architecture is kind of cool, but I can say that I'm not necessarily blown away. We just saw a house for sale down there, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that I would. It's, for one, it doesn't look as fancy as it's portrayed. The roads and stuff are, you can kind of see there, they're not in great shape. Most of them are pretty similar to that. But it's just not, it's not what I expected. I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten some pretty good pictures. It's been a neat thing overall to see. I just wish that, well, yeah. And of course, I'm pretty sure, I think weed is legal in at least New Orleans, if not Louisiana. And there's people selling it on the streets, and you can smell it. Like when you're walking around, people are smoking it, and it's like, I don't want to smell that. Like, I want to enjoy the city, and if I'm going to smell something, it better be good food, which we did smell at one point, and I think it smelled good because we're hungry. I just realized that it's around noon. We had breakfast at about 7 o'clock this morning. So realize that we're hungry, and I think what we're going to do probably, once this traffic lightens up so we can get across, I think we're going to take the streetcar back to the French Quarter and see if we can find something there, because there's a lot of restaurants down there, and that's where the best food is supposed to be. New Orleans is known for its food and its sights and its sounds, its jazz music, ghosts. So like, we want to try and take as much of the experience in as we can in a day, because we're only actually in the city today. So and I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad that we came. I'm glad that, you know, it's kind of a cool spot, and I think the voodoo / vampire tour tonight is going to be probably the best part of the whole trip, which may be setting the expectations too high.
We just missed the train.
But yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best part of the day, at least. The best part of the trip is probably going to be the swamp tour tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
If I had to guess. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit more. I did some B-roll a little bit ago, and so I figured I'd do a little bit more while I was thinking about it, because we were just talking about the houses in the area, and you know, don't get me wrong, there's some nice places here, but for me at least, it's not living up to the hype of what it was billed to be, at least for the Garden District. The French Quarter is what I expected. Loud, raucous, lots of bars, everybody and their brother selling you some kind of a drink. Voodoo stores with like the voodoo stuff that they sell in the voodoo stores, from what I was saying when I was researching for this video, isn't actual, like, the people who actually practice voodoo don't use like the voodoo dolls and that kind of stuff on a regular basis. So I don't know, but we're gonna catch ourselves a streetcar and make our way back to the French Quarter. I think we'll see. That's the most likely planned course of action. So I will see y'all in a few minutes. Alright, well, that was fun. I don't know if I'm going to leave that in or not. I was getting some B-roll, and the wind blew my hat off. So I went to chase it, wound up falling over when I was grabbing it. I've tightened it up a little bit. I didn't expect it to be quite so windy. The wind has really picked up. It feels good. The weather's beautiful. It's like 75, sunny, clear blue skies. It's not great for filming, but you know, it's whatever. Otherwise, it's yeah. Hopefully I didn't break anything. I checked the bag, checked my cameras. Everything seems all right. My knee hurts a little bit now, but there's only so much I can do about that. So we're walking back to the French Quarter now, It was quite a walk. We got on the streetcar, and it went around. It was going the wrong direction. So we wound up getting off a little early, and then walking ourselves back to where we came from. So that's where we're headed now. Hopefully this is not too dark. Not great with the changing light conditions. Maybe I should just set it completely to auto. But yeah, wanted to talk about that for a minute. But we're trying to see, hoping that maybe we can get a riverboat tour. But I feel like it's probably going to be sold out this late in the day. But we'll find out. We're heading that way now. So I'll let you guys know in just a minute. Alright, well, the steamboat's over there. You can see it. Turns out the next one leaves at 7 p.m. and doesn't get back until 9. The problem being that our voodoo vampire tour starts at 8:30. So we gotta get back. We'd have to be back here by 8:30, and that's just not going to be possible on that tour. So we're gonna miss that one today, but that's okay. Right now we're trying to find a restroom. There's a public one down here, and I think we're gonna walk along the waterfront here. Maybe get some pictures. Check it out. Not sure what. I think this might be the Mississippi River. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, this is... I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so we just got done eating. We went to the Stanley's, I'm not sure. Stanley. It's a pretty nice restaurant in the corner of the Jefferson Park over here. And then on the way back, I got me a nice little fan so I could become a Southern Belle. And now we're walking to try and find the ferry. Mostly because it came highly recommended as a good way to get some unique pictures of downtown New Orleans, as well as other spots. So we're walking where I think the ferry is at now. So yeah, so I highly recommend if you're down in New Orleans and you want I had the bacon double cheeseburger. Hold on a minute. I have a dead cat on my microphone to stop the wind noise. Keeps getting in the way. But we had a double cheeseburger. I had a bacon double cheeseburger. My wife had a cheeseburger. They were both delicious. That's what I said, double cheeseburger.
And I couldn't fit it in my mouth.
But they were both delicious. Well worth it. And relatively inexpensive for being on Jefferson Square. So, but yeah, other than that, if and when we do find the ferry, I will let y'all know. I think we're close. It can't be far, right? Alright, I found the ferry. It's out there. We're gonna have to swim. No, but seriously, it's gonna be a little while. Let me adjust the... It's probably gonna be a few minutes before it comes back. But that's our actual ferry. This is the river here that we're trying to cross. In amongst the crowds of people. Hopefully the wind's not too bad. The whole purpose of the dead cat is to keep the wind from blowing in the microphone, so we'll see. But yeah, when the ferry gets back, I guess I'll pop back on here. So I'm happy to say that we finally found the ferry. We're actually on it now. I just uploaded a short to kind of tease this. I figured I should probably start teasing things a little bit more because I don't think I do that well enough. So something I'm working on. But I thought I would do this because we got this boat back here. Perfect timing. But yeah, so we're gonna take the boat ride across and see what we can see. The lady earlier at the reason why we're doing this ferry in the first place is because the lady at the Welcome Center, Tourist Center, whatever the hell it's called. She suggested earlier that we take the ferry ride because we had the cameras, and she said you can get some really great shots of downtown New Orleans from the ferry. So we're trying that out. We got a few hours to kill still. We got about another 3.5 hours. I think it's like 5 now, 5:30. So we got a couple of hours to kill before our tour starts. So we're trying to find some fun things to do and check out. But yeah, I'll grab some B-roll and share the pictures that I get from this while we're going across the thing here. Alright, well that was interesting. So we got off of the ferry and we came over here to sit down and change out batteries and just kind of relax for a minute before heading back over. And hear this music start playing, and I'm like, well, I want to record, but I gotta wait because the music, if it gets in the background, will be what I'm getting a copyright strike, and I'm not wanting that. So I'm waiting, and I look over and I just see this giant ship going by. It's a Carnival cruise that just decided now they're going out of port, I guess. That would have been cool to be on for sure. But yeah, that was neat. So we're going to be getting back on the cruise here. But as I sit here and I look across the bay, and you can see Jefferson Square, which is where we were earlier, and where we were just at a little bit ago. It was just stacked full of people. Like this morning, it wasn't bad. There was a few people around, nothing too crazy. When we went back over to get lunch, it was just stacked full of people. There's people everywhere, and for me, I've got really, really bad anxiety because wasp. It's gone now. Sorry. We had a wasp emergency. There's a wasp flying around here. And anyway, as I was saying, so I deal with Asperger's, so I got really, really bad anxiety with crowds. It's been worse since I got back from deployment, but it's been something I've been dealing with for a long time. So anytime I get into crowds, when there's a lot going on, if there's more than one thing happening at the same time, that's when I start to kind of get, shut down anxiety, where I can't even think straight. So I was dealing with that earlier and trying to kind of get over that. So yeah, so getting on the ferry and coming across and sitting down here where it's nice and peaceful, and there's not really many people around. It's nice and quiet. It's kind of a cool area coming across the bay here. But I just wanted to mention that real brief. I think right now the plan is going to be to get back on the ferry, go back across the river, and maybe try and find some ice cream, but definitely we'll go back to the car and sit for a little bit because I got to charge my phone, and we just need a break, kind of relax for a few minutes because I was wrong earlier. I thought it was like 5 or 5:30. It was in fact 3:45, which means it's even earlier than I thought. So we have almost 4.5 hours to go now before our tour starts. So we got some time to kind of relax, and I think that's what we're going to wind up doing. But yeah, anyway, so I will check back in at some point here in the not too distant future. Alright, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to try something here. As we were walking back towards the car after the ferry ride, I noticed that we were walking past the New Orleans Holocaust Memorial. And so I wanted to do something here because they've got this thing. Basically, once you change your perspective on it, it kind of changes what you see. So I thought that was kind of neat. I took a couple of pictures of that, trying to see how it would come out. But yeah, so this is the Holocaust Memorial that they've got going on up here. Just wanted to quickly record that, and so I thought that was kind of a neat little setup they got going on here. But yeah, we're getting ready to head back to the car and rest for a few minutes before we try and find maybe some ice cream or something. I don't know. But I'll chat with y'all again later.
Well, when I wanted to do that for our wedding, you wanted to...
Alright, so we finally got our ice cream. We got out of the car, walked over, and oh my god. This place, what was the name of that place? Hey, come here.
Moss and chip.
Yeah.
All over his arm.
Kilwins. So it's Kilwins here in New Orleans. And they make the bowls, they make the waffle cones and bowls in-house, and then they got a ton of ice cream, fudge, candy, all kinds of cool stuff. So shout out to Kilwins. But we're gonna go eat this ice cream now, and then I'll be back. What I should have said is I'm having a s'more sundae, which is s'more ice cream with marshmallow and whipped cream and chocolate sauce and a cherry on top. Totally worth it. Yours is delicious too.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's really good. Cappuccino chocolate chip.
Yes. Best ice cream I think I've had in a while. Definitely beats Dairy Queen. That's usually where we get it. Alright, I'm gonna record this real quick while we're still inside. We're in this mall area because we were looking for a restroom, and the one we were using earlier was closed. And then we come inside. This one's supposed to be open until 7 p.m. It's 6:40. Whole group of people all trying to use the restroom.
I'm scared.
You're scared to get on the escalator? Just walk. Seriously? She was afraid that it was moving. You've been on escalators before. Anyway, whole group of people trying to find a restroom. and we're being told we can't use the one that was supposed to be open until 7, 20 minutes before it's supposed to close. Finally found another one thanks to a kind stranger. If you ever see this, thank you for showing us the way. So we found a restroom, thankfully, but now we're about an hour and a half from our tour time, so we gotta kill some time somehow. But yeah, that was it's interesting. I think we're gonna go back over the park because the lights changed since this morning. I want to see if I can get some different pictures. All right, it's starting to get dark. I'm probably gonna have to throw the the light up on here shortly. We're getting ready. We're heading over. We got about an hour before the tour, and we're walking around the square here and found there was some people over there doing tarot readings. And for those of you who are longtime fans, you've seen the video that I did on tarot a couple months ago now. So I was interested. I was curious. I was like, I'm gonna get a tarot reading, just kind of see. And I'll say the lady was really nice, really friendly. I liked it. It was a good reading. I don't know, I'm a skeptic, so I don't necessarily believe everything, but I'm gonna keep it in mind. I'm gonna see. It's not necessarily a prediction of things to come, but it's some ideas, and that's kind of where tarot usually comes from and where it gets really strong with people. And it's like I said in that video, I don't think it's a bad thing.
They're all over the place.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing to do, and I think it's something that you can use any way you want to. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in there, that put my money where my mouth is, and got an actual somebody who's been doing it for years, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I will say that. So, but yeah, we're still waiting. I'm gonna have to throw the light on here though, because I don't know. I might not throw the light on. I might just bump the ISO up a little bit more or something, just because, like, yeah, it's getting dark, but I don't want to be shining a light in our tour guide's face. So it might get a little dark here soon. I don't know yet. We'll see. Alright guys, how's it going? So I didn't record the actual tour because it was way too dark. It wouldn't have come out well. I couldn't put the light up on the camera. It just would have been right to shine the light in the tour guide's face. But I did want to say a thank you to, it was Ghost Adventures Tours. Is that right? The Ghost Adventures Tours? Carolyn from Ghost Adventures Tours was our tour guide and told some awesome stories. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Supposedly this park right here, which is Jackson Park. Sorry, it's been a long day. But I was in it earlier. You guys saw it at the very beginning of the video. This is supposedly the most haunted spot, and I'm not seeing any ghosts, but that's just because maybe I'm just standing here and maybe I don't recognize it. I don't know. You guys know my stance on ghosts and the paranormal. But I did want to do an outro before we left for the night because we're going to head back to the hotel. We got a big trip planned tomorrow. Big trip. It's the swamp tour that we're going to the swamp up by where our hotel's at. So that should be a lot of fun. That's going to be out on a video next week. If you are watching this live on YouTube and it's not next week yet, you can go on the Patreon, because a week early on the Patreon is where these videos are going to be. So you can check it out there if you're interested in that. Otherwise, you'll see it next week when it goes live. But that being said, I think that's all I've got for this one. Anything that I forgot to add, I'll just add in next week's video. But I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not already. Don't know what that was all about. That was a loud ass car. But thank you all for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one.